Do you know when the space age actually began? It was in the year 1957, an era marked by the Cold War tensions between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. But this isn't a tale of tanks and soldiers, no. This is a story about a new battleground, the vast and unexplored realm of outer space. It all started with a beep, a simple rhythmic beep that pierced through the silence of the cosmos. That beep belonged to Sputnik, the world's first artificial satellite launched by the Soviet Union on October 4, 1957. It was a metallic sphere, no bigger than a beach ball. Yet it held within it the potential to change the world. As Sputnik orbited our planet, sending its signal back to Earth, it was a wake-up call for the United States. The Soviets had taken the lead in a race no one knew they were running. The world watched in awe and trepidation as the Soviets claimed the first victory in this new frontier, marking the dawn of the space age. The launch of Sputnik not only represented a major technological achievement, but it also signified a shift in global dynamics. The United States, caught off guard and feeling the pressure of potential Soviet dominance in space, decided to respond. This led to the creation of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, better known as NASA, in 1958. What followed was a race like no other. A race not for land or resources, but for knowledge, prestige, and the promise of exploration and discovery. It was a competition fueled by technological innovation and human curiosity. The space race, as it came to be known, was not just about who could get to space first, but who could harness its vast potential for the benefit of mankind. And so the battle for the stars had begun. Now that the Soviet Union had set the bar, how would the United States respond? Well, not one to back down from a challenge, the United States quickly sprang into action. Just a year after Sputnik's triumphant orbit, the U.S. Congress passed legislation to establish the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or as we fondly know it, NASA. Born in the heat of rivalry and fostered by a nation's pride, NASA was America's answer to the Soviets' space prowess. It didn't take long for NASA to make its mark. The year was still 1958 when the United States launched its first satellite, Explorer 1. This was more than just a technological achievement. It was a statement. The space race was on, and the United States was in it to win. This period, the early years of the space race, was marked by a flurry of missions. Each was a stepping stone, a learning opportunity, and a chance to outdo the other. The Soviet Union, for instance, continued to push boundaries with Luna 2, the first spacecraft to reach the moon in 1959, and Yuri Gagarin, the first human to orbit the Earth, in 1961. Not to be outdone, the United States was making strides of its own. In 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth. This was followed by the Gemini program, designed to develop techniques for advanced space travel. These missions were vital, not just for the scientific knowledge gained, but for the sense of national pride and global prestige they brought. The competition was cutthroat. Each milestone met with a determined push for the next. The Soviet Union and the United States, two superpowers locked in a race, not just for space, but for supremacy. As the 1960s dawned, the race was heating up. Each country was learning, growing, and pushing further into the great unknown. The competition was fierce, but the best was yet to come. Who do you think was the first to set foot on the moon? Well, the answer to that question takes us back to the summer of 1969, when the world held its breath as Apollo 11, a spacecraft like no other, embarked on a journey to the moon. Aboard this spacecraft were astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, three brave men tasked with the mission of a lifetime. Apollo 11, under the stewardship of NASA, the United States Space Agency, was the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and an unyielding commitment to science and exploration. The mission was a critical point in the space race, a race not just to the moon, but to the very forefront of what humanity could achieve. On the 20th of July, 1969, Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the moon's surface in the lunar module Eagle, while Collins orbited above in the command module Columbia. The world watched in awe and anticipation as Armstrong, the mission commander, stepped off the Eagle's footpad and onto the moon's surface. He uttered the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." This moment, this singular, extraordinary event, was a victory not just for Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins, or even for the United States alone. No, this was a victory for all of humanity. It was proof that we, as a species, could push the boundaries of our world, that we could reach out and touch the stars if we dared to dream and strive. The moon landing was a pivotal moment in the space race. It was a definitive statement from the United States to its Cold War rival, the Soviet Union, and the rest of the world. It was a proclamation of scientific prowess, technological capability, and sheer determination. It was a moment that echoed through the decades, shaping the future of space exploration. With one small step, the United States had taken a giant leap in the space race. So, who won the space race, you may ask? Well, it's a question that has been debated for decades. But if the finish line was landing on the moon, then the United States claimed that honor. However, the race didn't end there. In the mid-70s, both superpowers realized that the race was not about who could get there first, but rather about what could be achieved together. The year was 1975, when the Apollo-Soyuz test project, a joint mission between the United States and the Soviet Union, marked the symbolic end of the space race. Apollo and Soyuz, once symbols of national pride and technological prowess, came together in a display of unity and cooperation. The docking of an American Apollo spacecraft with a Soviet Soyuz spacecraft was a testament to the shared vision of peaceful outer space exploration. This was not just a technological marvel, but a diplomatic triumph, a beacon of hope that two rival nations could put aside their differences for the greater good of humanity. The shift from competition to cooperation in space exploration didn't stop there. Years later, we saw the formation of the International Space Station, a testament to what can be achieved when nations work together. The ISS, a habitable artificial satellite in low Earth orbit, is a multinational collaborative project involving 5 space agencies: NASA, Roscosmos, JAXA, ESA, and CSA. The space race, which began as a race for dominance and supremacy, morphed into a journey of discovery, cooperation, and shared knowledge. The ultimate winners were not the United States or the Soviet Union, but the entirety of mankind. It's a story of how, when we look beyond our borders and differences, we can achieve the unimaginable. And so, as we look back, we realize that the space race was more than just a race. It was the starting point of a global collaboration that continues to push the boundaries of what we believe is possible. From fierce rivals to partners in exploration, the space race had truly come a long way. But what was the lasting impact of the space race, you might wonder? Let's delve into the far-reaching consequences of this monumental period in human history. The space race, a pulsating contest between the United States and the Soviet Union, didn't just shape the course of history, it also sparked a rapid evolution of technology. The world saw the birth of satellite technology, which today is integral for communication, weather forecasting, and even our everyday GPS navigation. In the quest to conquer space, we also made significant strides in computer technology. The need for compact yet powerful computing systems to guide spacecraft led to advancements that laid the groundwork for the microchip revolution. Today, these innovations have morphed into the smartphones, tablets, and computers that we cannot imagine our lives without. Moreover, the space race catalyzed a surge in scientific discovery. It expanded our knowledge of the universe, from understanding the effects of zero gravity on the human body to gaining new insights into cosmic phenomena. Our pursuit of the stars also led to the development of invaluable tools like the MRI scanner, originally designed to study the effects of space travel on astronauts. The space race also marked the beginning of a new era in space exploration. Today, we see a diverse array of players in the field, such as SpaceX and Blue Origin. These private companies, along with international space agencies, are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, from reusable rockets to plans for colonizing Mars. The legacy of the space race transcends beyond scientific and technological breakthroughs. It symbolizes a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and our insatiable curiosity. It was a testament to our ability to dream big, to reach for the stars, literally, and to turn those dreams into reality, even in the face of adversity. From a battle of superpowers to a global effort, the legacy of the space race continues to inspire us all. It reminds us that when we unite in a common cause, there's no limit to what we can achieve. This legacy is not just about the past, it's about the future we're still creating each time we look up at the night sky and wonder, what's next?